The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Coming up here at 9:20, we're going to get Jake Hamilton on Fox 32. Jake's takes on Oppenheimer and Barbie. Which one are you seeing this weekend? Which one should you see?
I did with that shmoney, honey.
And time, because Oppenheimer is 3 hours. Barbie, I think, is under 2. And the lines and trying to secure tickets. Now, we got a text in before we talk to Jake that is from Jane. The Barbie movie caused a fight between me and my boyfriend. I recommend it being part of a girls' movie if you're seeing it. Well, let's see what the whole situation happened here. Jane, ahoy.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, explain what happened, why the fight started.
So I will say the way that they marketed the movie is not the way that the movie actually is. Both of us were going into it thinking that it was just a bunch of popular actors that we like playing Barbie and Ken and just like a goofy movie. It ended up being a little more of a social commentary on like gender roles and Barbie in general. So just discussing things after the movie was a little frustrating.
You find out you're on two different sides of that discussion?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, that's good then. At least you find out who we both are there. I don't know how long you've been dating, but, you know.
It's been a while, so.
You know what I love? Out of Oppenheimer or Barbie, which one did you think was going to bring the big moral discussion?
Yeah.
Not Barbie.
See that coming.
Barbie. Well, thanks for checking in on that. I hope you guys are you guys going to survive this as a relationship?
Yeah, I think we'll be fine. With relationships, you kind of just have to know what fights are worth fighting and kind of talk your way through things and move past it.
I would just love it.
This is still fresh because she doesn't sound excited about that.
No, she doesn't.
I get it.
I go going forward. Why'd you guys break up, Jane? Barbie. Yeah. Barbie.
Yeah.
I thought he said something inappropriate about Margot Robbie, and that's why my man and I aren't going to go see it because I'd punch him right in the face. I don't care if it's an actress.
Well,
I don't play that game.
It's very nice of you.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in. We're going to get the whole scoop from Jake from Fox 32. Going to check in with us now and give you his take on the movies. Maybe we'll ask him that question. Is it a little more social commentary?
Deeper than we expected.
I just thought it was a lot of pink. That's all I thought.
Yeah, that's what. We don't even need themes, girls. We just have to go see a color. We're that stupid.
Thank you for finally
Brian.
Thank you for understanding me finally.
God.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie here on Q101, and we just told you we'd get Jake Hamilton on from Fox 32. Jake's takes on social media, on Instagram and Twitter. Follow him. And I just saw Kenzie on his Wikipedia page. It says, one of the nation's top show business journalists by Forbes magazine has named him that.
I mean, it shows. His interviews for movies and stuff are awesome. Because a lot of these people just give movie reviews who work in this. His interviews with the celebrities are so good. A-level guest, Jake. Welcome to the show. Is that a good intro?
Guys, I'm just really glad that you guys got the check. I'm really glad that the check cleared, and you guys read the script word for word. So I appreciate you. You guys are perfect.
Thank you. We're so talented.
So we just had a caller on that saw Barbie already and caused a fight with her and her boyfriend on the way home from the movie because they expected it to be lighter, and apparently there's some social commentary in Barbie. So I guess we can start right there with Barbie. We're going to talk about Oppenheimer as well and what you should see, what you should, your money, your time. Everybody, a lot of people want to see both. I know, I get that. I do too.
Yeah, look, this is a Barbenheimer weekend. They said over 345,000 tickets have already been sold for both movies simultaneously, people doing both. But yeah, look, Barbie it's written and directed by Greta Gerwig, who is one of the most talented voices in Hollywood today. But you don't hire Greta Gerwig to make a 2-hour-long Barbie commercial. That's not what this film is. If you want that sort of movie, there are a lot of straight-to-DVD animated Barbie movies out there. This is a movie that has something to say. It has something to say about men's place in the world, about women's place in the world. It says it has a lot of social commentary and uses the concept of Barbie and Ken as a really great sort of a vessel to say a lot of big things. I think what's interesting is, all of us grew up watching, movies when we were kids and then maybe revisited them 20 years later and thought, oh my God, there are so many jokes in this movie that went way over my head when I was a kid. And I could see this being one of those movies for a lot of younger people. And then obviously the parents that are going to take a younger generation are going to get a lot of the bigger messaging. But when one of the longest lasting jokes in the movie is a Matchbox 20 joke, you know that this is not a movie made for 8-year-olds.
That's a really good point.
That's hilarious. So yeah, I mean that's a great way to say it, so people that are going to it know what to expect a little more.
It's not a fluff piece,
right?
It's not a fluff piece, and Greta, but testament to that studio, you hire someone like Greta Gerwig, and then you just step back, put your hands up in the air, and say, let's just see what happens. And I got to tell you, I honestly, it's one of my favorite movies so far this year. I absolutely loved it. And I got to be honest with you, the couple that called saying that they had an argument, to me, that's a win. Any movie that gets two people together and yields a passionate just debate and conversation, that is the best part about movies. Whenever you have two different people with two different opinions that are sort of raging at each other, there's nothing lamer than two people walking out of a movie going, that was all right. Yeah, that was pretty good, I guess. When you get two people on opposite sides of the spectrum yelling at each other, to me, that is what movie going is all about.
That's what we say about that's what we say about the show, actually.
Yeah, Brian and I yell at each other every day.
What are you arguing about? Like, who's more talented? You both win.
Aww.
That's how you get invited back on the show.
I love you.
You come on anytime. So that's Barbie, and let's go on to Oppenheimer, which I saw in my neighborhood, the Music Box. They're showing it 70 millimeter, and the line for the 5 o'clock showing yesterday was literally around the block. People waiting 2 hours in 89-degree weather to get in there. Thankfully, the Music Box saw them all out there and let them in a little bit early. And after that, so completely different movie, obviously, with a Chicago connection, as with the University of Chicago being involved with the building of the A-bomb. But, okay, Oppenheimer. What do you think?
Honestly, Oppenheimer, probably my favorite film so far this year. It is from director Christopher Nolan, who is one of the best directors working today. Obviously, most people probably know him from the Dark Knight trilogy or Inception. He has his own Chicago connections. He spent years here with the Batman films. In fact, he told me that he actually fell in love with cinema by going to see a movie on the IMAX screen at the Museum of Science and Industry decades ago.
Wow.
So this is a director who loves this city. But this is a not your standard biopic. I mean, this is a movie that jumps around in time. It has an incredible cast of Oscar winners. It is one of those stories where every 5 minutes you're going, wait a second, this guy's in this movie? It is absolutely incredible. It might be the single best performance of Robert Downey Jr.'s career.
Wow.
It is a heavy film. It has a lot to say, not just about what was going on during World War II and the implications of that, but also what's going on today and the ripple effect that we're still feeling 80 years later. It is a massive film. It has a lot to say. The closest that I can say that it is relatable would almost be if you're familiar with Oliver Stone's JFK, which was a big, sprawling historical epic that weaved a lot of different time periods with a lot of different A-list actors. A little bit less conspiracy theory in this one, but let me tell you, it is one of the absolute best films today, and I promise you, in 6 months when they start rattling out the Oscar nominations, you are going to hear everything from Cillian Murphy, who plays J. Robert Oppenheimer. You're going to hear Emily Blunt. You're going to hear Robert Downey Jr., and I guarantee you are going to hear director Christopher Nolan's name called a lot.
Wow.
So you got to see both, then, it sounds like, right?
There are two wildly different, but listen, as a movie fan, nothing makes me happier than having two massive movies come out. Both of them have been reviewed incredibly well. Both of them are expected to bring in so much money, and honestly, that's just what we need. It's been a little bit of a lackluster summer, to be honest, both in quality and at the box office. So as a movie fan, I want sort of the conversation going. I want movies that get people yelling at each other. I want movies that bring in a lot of money and bring people to the box office, because that's the sort of environment I grew up with as a kid. So I want that. So, it used to not be a big deal when two big movies came out at one time. These days, it's one movie at a time. We used to have multiple big movies come out at one time. So, if even with director Christopher Nolan, 15 years ago, Mamma Mia and The Dark Knight came out on the same weekend. And here we are 15 years later with two wildly different films. So as I saw one person say, we had Barbenheimer this weekend. 15 years ago, we had The Dark Mama with Dark Knight and Mamma Mia. So history's repeating itself a decade and a half later.
So back to Barbie for a second. Kyle from Glendale Heights just texted in while you were giving this great, amazing, detailed reviews of both movies. Would Barbie be good to bring my 5-year-old daughter to, who loves playing with Barbies?
I think, in theory, your 5-year-old might be distracted by a lot of the bright colors. There are a lot of big musical dance numbers and stuff. There's going to be a ton of messaging and plot points that are going to go over their head. There's nothing inappropriate in the film. There's nothing about the film that you're going to have to cover anyone's eyes. It's just that the movie has a lot of plot points and big ideas, big heavy ideas, that are just going to gloss over most kids. But there's nothing inappropriate in the film that you have to be worried about them seeing. It's just more about what the movie's actually about. But there's plenty of stuff, I think, to keep them distracted. The movie runs about 1 hour, 54 minutes. I always get weird about, like, the is this appropriate for my kid question, because I was watching inappropriate R-rated films when I was 6, 7 years old. So I never, it sort of depends on what you let your kid watch. But I think that I would say that there's nothing, sexual or violent or anything you have to worry about. It's just more adult ideas and conversations that are going to be had after the movie ends.
And they're going to be focused on their snacks anyways when people aren't talking. Yeah.
Jake's
Exactly.
over there watching Eyes Wide Shut when he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the best Christmas movies of all time, man. I'm telling you.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much for checking in. Last minute notice, I know, so I appreciate it so much. And we will have you back, of course. Anytime you want to come on, you're welcome. And great detailed review from everybody that wants to go see these flicks.
I appreciate you.
Have a great day, buddy.
You guys are the best and very good looking, and I love you.
Oh, we love you back.
Well, one of us is good looking.
Have a great day.
All right, see you, Jake.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Once again, thanks to Jake Hamilton from Fox 32, Jake's Takes. He was incredible at breaking down Barbie and Oppenheimer. If you missed it, go back to the podcast. And also go to his socials and our socials. We'll have some of the recap on there for you to make your decision. And some of the stuff no one really knows about those movies. That guy knows everything. He's a savant. He's ridiculous.
He's unbelievable. You want to find out what you should be watching or just learn anything about anybody who's been in a movie, just go to his Instagram. It's incredible.
Yeah. So we're going to have him on again regularly, hopefully. So there you go. But let's get to the weekend Q101. Other things going on besides Oppenheimer and Barbie in case the producer.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I'm excited because I have something going on this afternoon that we'll talk about in a minute on this. I'm going to get ready to head down there to Shorewood.
Brian's excited to talk about himself.
That's right. But
Big
first,
shock.
Case the producer does an amazing job of putting us all together at Q101.com, and he loves talking about the new music that drops today first.
Well, the concerts that are going on this weekend.
Let's do the concerts first. Okay, let's do that.
Well, okay, so next week is Picnic, which is Q101's music festival. 2 weeks after that is Lollapalooza. There's 3 music festivals happening in Chicago this weekend that start today.
Ugh.
It's exhausting. Today at Northerly Island, and I'll be there. Please come say ahoy. I'll be there this afternoon. Sad Summer Fest is at Northerly Island. That's Taking Back Sunday, the Maine, Hot Mulligan. If you have a hankering, if you will, for Warped Tour, if the warm summer months are making you nostalgic for that, Sad Summer Fest is your go-to there.
Taking Back Sunday, underrated performer, seeing them live.
Okay.
I'm telling you that. They're very, very excellent, and I didn't expect when I was a fan of them going to see them live the first time. Great performers.
So my band there is a band called Hot Mulligan. They're a newer band.
Shocker.
I would tell you what time they're playing, but Sad Summerfest keeps their set times hidden like it's a Pentagon secret. I can't find them anywhere. It's maddening, but
Why
I will
would
be
they
there.
do that?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But there's Sad Summerfest today. Pitchfork Music Festival starts today. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Tonight, and you can still get tickets. They're almost sold out. But a band called The Smile is headlining. Brian, do you know about The Smile?
Let's see. I know this. This is the singer of Radiohead in the band.
Yes, Tom York and Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead. Kinsey and I are big fans of them. Obviously, they are headlining tonight. That is a great show. Tom York, like I said, of Radiohead, now in this new band called The Smile with Johnny Greenwood. They're headlining tonight. That's, if you're into
That
pretend.
name creeps me out, though. The
Smile?
smile. It's creepy.
Yeah, I don't like
Because
that.
you think of the movie, Smile, whatever.
Yeah, I don't take it as a happy thing. It's like, ugh.
And if you're into pretentious indie rock, that's a good place for you to be this weekend. And then there's The Rumble, which is Chicago's premier hardcore punk music festival. That's happening in the parking lot of the Cobra Lounge this weekend.
Oh.
I will be there tomorrow. One of Brian and I's favorite upcoming bands is playing tomorrow, that band being Military Gun.
Love Military Gun.
Brian knows what's up. So that is all happening. There's obviously, Beyonce is at Soldier Field, if that's your thing.
Hello. Houston in his house, baby.
There's a bunch of good concerts. You can see them all listed at Q101.com. But 3 different music festivals taking place this weekend. It's chaotic, it's stressful, and it's only the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, can I be selfish first? Can I talk about me before you talk about
For
you?
sure, go ahead.
Okay, so tonight at 6 p.m., if you don't want to leave your house, you can watch a new episode of my TV show, The MVP Game, on our Key Sports Network. Brand new episode.
Right on.
So if you're like, I'm not going, that's it.
Is this the one that I would have been on?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Loser. So
Yeah, I was just kind of busy and just things. She
I
called me
literally film 3 minutes from your house and you wouldn't come.
last minute. I got a baby. It's
I
hard.
told you about 7 hours in advance.
I go watch the baby.
She did call like 6 hours in advance on
At
that
least.
one. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would have been the next one.
Well, I'll think about it.
All right. Speaking of sports and the Marquee Network, Cubs host the Cardinals. Now, they lost last night, but 4-game series this afternoon again. Important series for the Cubs, especially with the trade deadline next week. Hey, you like picnic. He's talking about festivals. So this afternoon, 5 to 7, call that happy hour. I'll be out in Shorewood at Bedrock's Bar. More tickets. I'll have some White Claws to throw in your face. And also tickets for Bad Flower to meet them backstage and hang out in the puppy pit at Picnic. So you get tickets to Picnic and then, of course, enjoy that time. We're going to have a party out there in Shorewood tonight. So 5 to 7. And then also tomorrow, 2 to 4, I'll be in Palatine at Garfield's Beverage Warehouse, 2 to 4 with the same deal. Picnic tickets, Bad Flower, Puppy Pit, White Claw, all that.
It's picnic season. I mean, that's next week. That'll be the focus of next week's Q101. Right now, tickets still available. Good deals on some of those tickets. Brian's going to be out there tonight and tomorrow. And then next week on the show, Brian and Kenzie, Incubus meet and greet tickets all week long. Get into Picnic and meet Incubus. That's coming up next week.
Love that. And
Meet
there's
and greets? Do we get to meet them?
No, not you.
Oh, we haven't been told. I asked yesterday, and we have meet and greets we're giving away, and they said maybe.
Hey, Kenzie, why don't we put a pin in that and circle back to that later?
Keeping crap when I went in Kenzie, Clash with Kenzie.
There's the weekend Q101. There's so much more on there. A lot of free things, too. A lot of street festivals like Ravenswood on Tap, like the Tacos and Tamales Festival. Q101.com. Go check them out.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Beach Weather performing at Picnic with Q101 next Sunday. As we said in the weekend Q101, I'll be in Shorewood tonight. Bedrock's 5 to 7 with tickets. Chance to go backstage with Bad Flower and get in the puppy pit. Kenzie doesn't block everybody out of it.
I just thought it was for me.
And Joey Dominic here in for Lauren today. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just got a history lesson from you about the nukes we dropped.
Yeah. I listen, I go in the wormholes. We're talking about Oppenheimer, of course, that movie coming out. And there's an old movie with John Cusack and Paul Newman called Fat Man and Little Boy. And you might want to watch that if you can't get into Oppenheimer this weekend. Maybe it's on Netflix. I don't know. Really good movie. And the bombs that we dropped were called Fat Man and Little Boy.
Mm-hmm. And you know that for a fact?
I know it for a fact.
Because I just feel bad because he's telling Joey, like, oh, just drop this fact later and da-da-da. But you've done that to me before, and the fact has been completely wrong.
Yeah, but I was trolling.
And then I get trashed. That's your excuse. You just actually had the fact wrong.
And by the way, Joey Dominic, you hear Saturday nights on Q101 all the time. I phoned in for Lauren today.
Yeah, it's fun. I like phoning in the daytime. It's cool seeing the sun, being in the studio. So
Nice.
It's a nice change of pace.
Good, there's people here. Look
Yeah,
at
I
this.
know. I don't have to be alone and cry in the corner. In the
Gosh.
songs.
Got
It's a
dark.
very dark show
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Actually, don't listen. It's sad.
Oh my
jeez. Got you like Oppenheimer here. A movie. All right, well, we'll talk. What do you got coming up on your show? You want to plug anything here?
Yeah, I mean, we're giving away tickets to Picnic, 2 tickets, and it's another meet up. You get to see Giovanni and the Hired Guns before the show,
Ooh.
and Lou Malnati's. So some pizza to soak up the alcohol during the show.
Oh, God. Okay, after the puppy pit, we're going to go get pizza.
Yeah. What time are you going to do that today?
12 o'clock.
Right there, noon. That's awesome. By the way, Giovanni and the Hired Guns, who played our pop-up at Cubby Bear. Kenzie wasn't here yet for that. Giovanni is very happy with his success, which is great. He partied with everybody at the Cubby Bear, and I felt bad because he kept buying shots. You pull your card out, put it in the little machine there. I said, no, man, I'll buy these. No, I felt like all the money he made that night was gone.
I thought you were going to call everybody else the Hired Guns. You're like, Giovanni's happy about it, but the Hired Guns aren't. That's what I thought you were about to say.
They might not be. I didn't talk to all the Hired Guns. I talked to Giovanni.
I thought you were separating them.
All right, takeaways from this week's shows with Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Takeaway from Mitchell. Kenzie's husband won't get her name tattooed on him because he punches babies in the face.
Facts. Trucker Mike says, takeaway, Brian and Kenzie are on a billboard promoting their show, and they've never seen it.
Facts.
It may not exist. I think the company just said we have one to make us feel better.
Where do you come in from? Do you come Kennedy inbound or?
I usually take the Stevenson, but I have taken the Kennedy. And with the way traffic's going right now, you have time to take a picture of it. You're only idling every 30 seconds, so you can't miss it.
Yeah, it's at the
No,
Belmont
you can,
exit.
though, because I take the Kennedy every day, and I've never seen it.
Oh, my God.
At the Belmont exit inbound.
It comes up every 2 hours for 10 seconds, so.
Another one about your hubby. This happened, I think, Wednesday's show, maybe?
God.
Jeremy, Kenzie, and her husband have Cubs stadium seating for baby-making sessions in the
That's
bedroom.
not true.
Sounds like it is. Anything else on your end, Kenzie, or are we good?
That was it.
Oh, that's it.
This is slight week.
Stick around for Joey Dominic. Again, noon, those picnic tickets and a meetup with Giovanni and Hired Guns and Lou Malnati's.
Yeah, it's a can't miss opportunity.
Can't miss it. And the sun's out, so it's good for him today.
Yeah, good day for me.
If you missed a moment, you miss a lot.
Happy Joey.
Over the weekend, the podcast is all at Q101.com.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.